Megan, can you, what's this new, this, why is there a new building coming up at Louisville?
Um, well, right now on campus, we already have a deficit of beds for new freshmen, incoming freshmen, and the area in Willville has always been planned to increase residential space. So we're building a 500-bed building out here. One of the new initiatives that we're really we're striving towards on campus is having residential colleges in these buildings also. So this building will not only have 500 beds, but it'll have 2 faculty live-in apartments as well as classrooms within the building.
I understand there's like the whole 30th and Baseline area is going through a big renovation the next 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. What's the end goal?
So basically, with that area and this area, they're both owned for the majority by the Williams brothers. And they're really just trying to make that area a lot more attractive, not only to the community members, but also to students, because the students are such a big part of the community. I know that they're slowly working towards just making it more accessible and a lot more attractive. I'm not sure what their end goal is exactly, but I do know that we are working in conjunction with them a lot to try to make sure that the students' needs in Williams Village are being met there, as well as surrounding community members.
Do you know how many construction things are going on campus right now?
How many projects?
Yeah.
Well, in residential, there's 2 renovations happening right now. Buckingham is currently being renovated, and Smith Hall is having an addition, and it's also going to undergo renovation. We have the Center for Community going up, which is actually another student-oriented building. That's basically just student services and a very nice dining facility within it. The Visual Arts Complex is pretty much finished, with the art museum part of it being open in March. And we're also breaking ground on the Systems Biotechnology building, which is going to be on East Campus, and that's just a large laboratory building for 3 different departments. And then there's also the Institute of Behavioral Sciences over in Grandview, which also just combines 9 buildings into one, basically.
And this one, right?
Yeah, and then this one breaks ground in about a month.
Is it the end of January, beginning of January?
So as you can see already, they have the site sign up, the project sign that explains it. I'm sure they've been out here doing a few utility relocates and just checking out the area, and I'm guessing they'll start breaking ground in early to mid-January.
Now, what time will construction start in the morning?
So construction will go from 8 until 5 every day, except for Saturday and Sunday. They will try to have that start at 9 if they work on Saturday and Sunday. Generally, a construction company will work with housing during finals weeks and during move out and anything like that where students would need a little more flexibility.
Now, the building's going to be in the parking lot, right?
Yes.
What's that going to do for parking? Like, we're going to take away half the spots designated for Willville students.
So this parking lot actually is used a lot for storage parking. It looks as though it's only for Williams Village students, but a lot of the passes are actually for staff and faculty. Well, not really faculty, but a lot of staff that work on campus, and then they'll just ride the bus or something over to main campus. So I believe parking and transportation is limiting the amount of storage parking they're allowing out here and not taking away any permits or availability for Willville students. So with the buff bus, they realized that with 500 students, that bus is already packed, and there's been complaints about it going to Bear Creek and it gets filled up already and not before it even gets here. So within the plans, they're looking at expanding that bus lane and seeing if they can fit more buses in that area and buying a couple more articulated buses, which are the larger buses. So they'll have an increase in the bus schedule.
Is this new building going to be one of the greenest buildings on campus?
Yes, this, as a standard, our campus always works toward making our buildings LEED Silver certification. But as practice has it, we usually strive for LEEDs Gold, which is definitely what we're doing here. One thing we've kind of pioneered is going to LEEDs Gold Plus, which means we focus a lot on the water and energy efficiency more so than the short-term goals, which are innovative points like bamboo flooring and things like that. We look for the ones that have a long and successful life cycle cost for us, so it pays back really quickly, and we really put a bunch of our research and time into that. So yes, it will.
And what kind of amenities in the buildings will make it green and LEED certified?
So some of the fun, more noticeable amenities that happen in LEEDs buildings, one thing is they really try to put a lot of influence on daylighting. So they'll have a lot more taller windows and spaces that really take advantage of the 300 days of sunshine we have here in Colorado. That saves on obviously lighting costs. In the residence hall rooms, they'll have sensors on all of the windows, so if a student leaves it open, the heating and cooling system automatically turns off. They've looked at timers in the showers, but I don't think that's going to happen. But they have automatic lighting in all of the classrooms, and in the hallways, like during the night hours, every other light will be on, so it saves a lot of that time when they're not being used. One thing unique about this residence hall is they're putting PV panels on the roof, and this section will likely pay for the water heating of the building. So that's unique for any of our residence halls. And obviously we will have recyclable materials and everything like that. So.
With the new building coming out, do you think it will attract more people to live in Wheelville? Because Wheelville is kind of known as the place where you get stuck in as a freshman if you don't get into main campus on the main campus once.
I think that's definitely a goal of having this new residence hall. And one thing that they are putting in this one also is a cafe. So they're trying to incorporate different things that students really enjoy having about having an entire community. Another thing is along the lines of the sustainability. Since they are going to have a residential college in this, they really are trying to they're looking to gear it towards a certain type of interest for students. So they'll try to, if students are interested in sustainability, that could be possibly a place where they could live and learn in the same building, and so people with the same interests can, live and learn from their surroundings, and that's a goal that they're really working towards. It has plenty of land for possible, student farming or something like that. So there's opportunities out here that don't exist on main campus because of the land lock that's there.
Now, compared to other residence halls, I mentioned greenest building on campus, compared to other ones maybe other than Andrews, Buckingham, and Smith, how does this compare to, let's say, Fair and Baker?
Well, it's about the same size as them. Obviously, it won't have a dining hall in it. It'll use Darley Commons, so it's unlike Farron in that way, because Farron obviously has its own dining facility. But it is different in the fact that, like Andrews and Arnett, it'll have faculty living in it, and also it's moving away from the really residence hall dorm look, and it's going more towards a suite style, which in Stearns East and a few other towers, they do have some apartment style buildings, but these ones will have just a suite style with fewer community bathrooms and things like that. So it's more of a independent room area, I suppose you could say.
It's more apartment living than just standard dorm. Two people living in one apartment.
Yeah, there's not very many like kitchens or anything in it like that, so it's definitely different than Bear Creek in that sense, but it moves towards a more comfortable living room. And like I said earlier, there's a lot more space out here, so students can take advantage of the bike paths that are close, and Boulder Creek's really close, and they have plenty of playing fields. And I think it's the first to build a community that would be very similar to Farron Field.